we're also recording this so we can post it on YouTube later, so I want to give a hello to everyone who will be watching it later. The Office of Teacher Preparation is delighted to spend the afternoon with you today. Approximately 90 students from all teacher preparation programs will receive their pins. This ceremony marks a significant milestone, one of the first of many achievements you'll accomplish throughout your academic and professional journey. The pin, just like the one I have here, is your passport into classrooms and field experiences. It represents the Longwood brand and name, so wear it with pride and responsibility. I'd like to briefly share what you can expect today before we get started. In just a moment, I'll introduce our guest speaker. Following that, I'll explain how each student should come to the stage when it's time to receive their pin. But first, I just want to take a moment to recognize some key members of the Office of Teacher Preparation. Please join me in welcoming our office manager, Ms. Brandy Ripley. Mrs. Kayla Martin, our graduate assistant. Morgan, an honorary OTP member, and he's the director of the Prime Minister Program and Outreach and Engagement Coordinator for CHHS. Due to being under the weather, our director, Dr. Tara McDaniel, our associate director, Dr. Jennifer Whitaker, and our data analyst and technology specialist, Jen Arms, were unable to be here today. Please know that they are very proud of you all and wish they could be here. Now it is my honor to introduce a very special guest, our speaker for today's event, Dr. Rhonda Scarrow. Dr. Rhonda Scarrow is an associate professor in the Department of Theater, Art, Graphic Design, and Animation at Longwood University. She currently serves as the program coordinator for theater and theater education and is chair of liberal studies. She is also the university representative to the National Association of Schools of Theater. With over 30 years of classroom experience spanning middle school, high school, and college, Dr. Scarrow has taught in the fields of speech, theater, and education. She is a lifetime member of the Virginia Theater Association and member of the Golden Key International Honor Society. She has twice been honored by the University of Richmond as an outstanding educator in visual and performing arts at the Virginia Governor's School. Dr. Scarrow has received numerous recognitions, including Excellence in Teaching Award from Southside Virginia Community College, Faculty Citizen Leader Award from Longwood University, Nancy B. Shelton Spirited Contributor Award from Longwood Alumni Association, and the 2025 Faculty Recognition Award for her professional excellence and dedicated service to students. One of the most meaningful moments in her career was having a scholarship named in her honor within the Cole College of Arts and Sciences. Her research areas include student-centered learning, classroom engagement, and teacher presentation skills. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Rhonda Scarrow.
Okay, I was going to start with the students, but I think I want to talk to the parents. Look at you. Who traveled 100 miles to be here? Who traveled over 150 miles to be here? Who traveled 175 miles to be here? 180? 200? May I ask what your name is? Ma'am, you have just won a cubic zirconian ring, a fake fur coat, and a trip to the Bahamas, and if you'll pick that up at President Wheatley's office, and he will refund your tuition as well. How about that? Yeah! I'm gonna look this way a little bit because I'm talking to them, but I have some things I want to share with you all as well. So, you want to be a teacher? Isn't that great? I got all down here all week. And you can't get a cookie unless you stay to the end, so it's up to you. I would ask you, and you can feel free to raise your hands if you like. How many of you lined up your dolls, your stuffed animals, your G.I. Joes, your siblings, and possibly your parents, and taught? Look at them. I can't wait to raise their hands. It's okay. And you graded their papers, and you stuck them on the refrigerator, and then maybe they could have a little recess. Okay, yeah. Okay. All right, so pre-service teachers, allow me to ask you another question. How many of you all come from a family of teachers? Awesome. How many of you had at least one teacher that touched your soul, your heart, look at I can't wait, your mind, and planted the seed that you would be a great teacher? Isn't that awesome? You know, I don't like to use the word power, but I think sometimes as teachers, we don't always grasp how impressive, how easily students are impressed by what we do. When I think about more questions about how you found your way into teaching, the answer would be as different as the functions. I would also make a guess that your decision to join the teaching profession might even have a story like mine. Maybe a former teacher who turned your mistakes into a lesson and offered you choices or simply made learning fun. Someone saw something in you that no one else saw, and maybe you want to be just like them. Does anybody want to be like me? My son said the only difference between me and a narcissist is that I will admit it. So my name is Dr. Rhonda Scare, and I am a narcissist. It's all about me. You thought it was about your children today. And by the way, don't forget, go by President Ridley's office and pick up your gifts. Okay. A story about how maybe you came from a generation of teachers, or how a summer job at camp and you were working the water games that turned into a passion for teaching. And there are several questions that you might ask yourself. And I've actually asked some of these questions in my class. I said, so tell me, how was the room arranged? And did you like the teacher from the beginning? And I get all sorts of statements and answers from, her room always smelled like vanilla. Or she always wore really big glasses. And these aren't my biggest ones, are they? Sometimes I come with magnifying. And yes, there's a student that says, you know, in the beginning, I didn't like that teacher. But only because I thought she or he were hard. But then I realized that they pushed when you needed to be pushed. I had a student once, and I had a parent-teacher conference with him and his mother. And I was a Longwood graduate, and I knew everything. But you know, I'm a narcissist. And fortunately, I had a very smart middle school principal who sat in on the conference with me, and I feel confident that had she not done that, I probably would have lost my job. And so my principal asked the mother, can you tell us why we're meeting here today? Because you requested the meeting, but we really don't know why you're meeting. Some of you have heard this story. And I said, oh, I know. I don't like your son. That was not the right answer. And so my principal said, what Dr. Scarrow means is, and once again, because I'm Longwood grad, know everything. I said, oh no, I know exactly what I mean. I don't like it. And as I felt her heel run into my ankle, which I still have a bruise and walk with a limp because of that, she said, what Ms. Landis means is, she doesn't like his behavior. And the light bulb went off. I said, oh yeah, that's it. I don't like his behavior, I don't dislike him. I actually kind of like him. So time goes by. This young man graduates. He goes on to Virginia Tech. We have a homecoming football game. And we're all out on the field. And here he comes, walking across the field on the 50-yard line in a black trench coat. And I'm sure he has an assault weapon under that, but I have to act like I'm not afraid. And so I just stood tall, and I walked, and the whole time, I was like, dear God, please don't let him kill me. And he walks right up to me, and he says, I was not leaving until I got to hug my favorite teacher. That's why I'm a narcissist. The favorite teacher. It's crazy. So sometimes I think we don't know what we do. And sometimes, and I've told you all this before to those of you that have passed in my class, that write a note to those folks that made a difference and got you here. Because sometimes we don't know. I want you to know that I'm proud of you. And I'm so proud of you that I think we should sing a song together. I left the words on your chair. I will sing it for you first. I am a narcissist. Some of you heard the song. It's from Oklahoma. And this is going to be your motto. Okay? It goes like this. I'll sing, you sing with me, okay? Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. And you know, I like you to hold the way. Okay, let's all stand. Because your parents want to see you. Turn and face your parents. Aren't they just gorgeous? You can wave at your parents. Parents, you can wave at your students. Nobody else is winning a trip to the Bahamas, so don't worry. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. I've got a beautiful feeling. Everything's going my way. The most rewarding, and yet the hardest profession on earth. There will be good days, very good days. There will be beautiful mornings. But there will be days full of challenges. But I will tell you what I know and what I believe. You are up for the challenge. If you have ventured through my class, you've heard me say many times, Longwood does not turn them loose until they are ready. Therefore, as you sit in this room to be pinned, we have deemed you ready. This is just the beginning of your final step. Use this time to learn, create, engage, teach, make a difference, touch lives, have some fun, make some mistakes, but learn from them. On your first day of your first field experience and or student teaching, either the fall or the spring, you will be a bundle of emotions. You'll be nervous, you'll be happy, you'll be excited, and maybe even a little afraid. If you can reflect back for just one moment and remember your first day of school as a young child, I think you may experience some of those same emotions when you become a teacher. Now, you think it was hard on you going to kindergarten or first grade? How about us? How about us? Was it the worst day of your life?
Yes.
I thought about running away and joining a commune and taking my children with me. So, let me tell you about the first day of school for my son, Hunter. He was so excited. He had a Ninja Turtle book bag and a He-Man lunchbox. And he carried that thing around for about 2 weeks before school started. In fact, by the time school started, I thought I was going to have to buy another book bag and another lunchbox because he would pack his dinner in his lunchbox and sit at the table and unpack it and eat it. So the first day of school came around, and we'd already met with all the teachers, and all the teachers said, you know, it's probably best if you don't get out of the car, and don't come in. You know, don't you just hate it when they tell us that? I open the door and put myself on the floor. And so just let him out, holding up the sign, this is where you go. And I looked at him and I thought, just got so tight. I didn't know whether to cry or snatch him up and just take him home and homeschooling. But then, where's my friend Miss Litchford? There was a song. They won't know this song, but many of you will. You heard that song? Okay, thank you, sir. I'm glad somebody's paying attention. Okay, so all I could think of when I turned him loose into the universe, probably never to see him again, I yelled out, "Hunter, I love you like a rock." And he stops, clinging to his He-Man lunchbox. And he looks at me and he says, "Oh, I love you like a stone, Mommy." That is the best love in the world. To you, like a stone is innocent and it is precious. And though I cannot call you all by name, and some of you I do not know, but I know that you will make a difference in the world. You will make learning fun. You will comfort a child when they're having a bad day. If they've fallen on the playground, if they forgot their lunch money, if the family pet died over the weekend, you will celebrate with them when they pass their spelling test, when they make the cheerleading squad, when they recite the preamble to the Constitution word for word. In short, you will love them like a stone. You will change lives, and you will make a difference. In 2015, Ellen DeGeneres welcomed Sonia Romero on her show to honor her as a kindergarten teacher. The interview started like this. "You teach kindergarten. What is the first question you ask every morning?" The talk show host prompted. "I ask my kids if they've eaten that morning." Romero answered. "If they need anything to wear, if they need to brush their teeth, do they need to comb their hair?" She said, "I feel like educators are first responders." And I would say that she loved her students like so. When I think about you teaching, I know you're going to teach English and science and math and history. But hold that thought. I was in a school in Mecklenburg County a few years ago observing a student teacher. I'd been in the classroom several times and during the semester, but this time was different. There were children's clothes hung up all over the room. So I asked the student teacher, I said, is there some sort of fashion show today? And the teacher that's in the school that supervises our student teachers are called cooperating teachers, and for short we call them CTs. So I asked the CT, she said, "You need to ask the CT about the clothes," and I did. This is the story that she told. It was their year-end assembly, and every year during the assembly we asked the students to dress up. Unfortunately, not all of the students had dress-up clothes, and if they did, they often came in wrinkled clothing. The CT went on to tell me that she decided no more. So whenever there was any kind of assembly or a dress-up day, she would bring her iron and ironing board to school, and she would iron their clothes. She would tell them not to wear your good clothes to school, just bring them, and we will iron them together. Believe it or not, some children had never even seen an iron. of her students might have been worn and tattered, but those clothes were sharply pressed. It became a ritual. But this teacher didn't just iron the clothes, she used it as a teachable moment. She taught a lesson on steam and heat. And guess where she graduated from? Longwood. I would say that this teacher loved her students like a stone. There's a teacher in Roanoke who's also an alumni. She starts her year by buying crackers, juice boxes, chips, and maybe even some candy. Not for herself, but for her students who are about to enter her classroom. Often during snack time, many of her students don't have a snack. Some of her students live in a hotel room with as many as 5 people. Some of their parents are in prison. And some of her students are being raised by great-grandparents. This teacher can't do it all, but she does make sure that her students have a snack every day. That's what Lancers do. She loves them like a stone. My hope is that you will not only teach math and science and English and history. I hope you will teach fairness and goodwill, kindness, and challenge your students to be good citizens. I challenge you during your time as a teacher to celebrate the special moments, large or small, and know that they may always, don't let anything pass. Celebrate it all. You won't know everything, and you will need to ask some questions. President Barack Obama said, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. I do it every day. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It shows you have the courage to admit you don't know something, and you learn something new. Encourage your students to ask questions. This is how we grow, and this is how I grow. I learn something new from you all every day, and I appreciate that. As becoming a teacher, you're in good company. In 1985, NASA made a decision that a teacher should go into space. It was called the Teacher in Space Project. Over 11,000 teachers applied for the position, and only one was chosen, Krista McCullough. She was a social studies teacher from New Hampshire. And after much training on January 28, 1986, Mrs. McCullough boarded the space shuttle with 7 other crew members. It was a cold morning that day at Kennedy Space Center, 36 degrees. The shuttle was lost, and after only 73 seconds in flight, there was an explosion, and all 7 crew members, including Ms. McCullough, perished. I am so proud to be a member of a profession where people are willing to press forward, and I know you are too. Take challenges, and yes, risk to learn so that we can be better teachers. Krista had a vision for her future classes and was willing to take the challenge. She was once quoted, "I touch the future, I teach." In the mid-1800s, an Irish immigrant was born into poverty. She was abused by her alcoholic father. She lost her sight at age 5. At age 8, her mother died, and shortly after that, her father put her in an orphanage that was known for cruelty and abuse of the children. It was a horrible life, but she was determined to be a teacher, and probably one of the most famous teachers of our time, Annie Sullivan, Helen Keller's teacher, and she was only 20 years old. In the mid-late 1850s, a child was born into slavery, just a little over an hour from here. Little did anyone know this child would grow up not only to be a teacher, but his story reads like a documentary. 1872, Booker T. Washington left home and walked 500 miles to Hampton Normal Agricultural Institution in Virginia. Along the way, he took odd jobs to support himself. He convinced administrators to let him attend the school, and he took a job as a janitor to pay his way. You are in good company. Other individuals who started as teachers, talented film director Spike Lee, former Vice President Al Gore, poet Maya Angelou, and former President Jimmy Carter, a popular group. Teachers are not always popular. If you ever have to give the captain of a football team a low grade that didn't allow him to play in the homecoming game, even though it was a grade he earned, or even had to contact the student's parents because the students were acting out in class, doesn't make it very popular. But I will promise you that later they do come back. I had a young man in my class that was very bright, he was very creative, and his plan was to go to culinary school after he graduated. It was a complete disruption in my class, and after many meetings with his parents and my principal, we made the decision that he would have to come out of my class. He needed the class to graduate. His mother was a nervous wreck. So I called her one day and I said, relax, he's gonna graduate. But let's let him think about some things for a little while. So I set up an independent study for him, and he graduated. Did not speak to me the rest of the year. He grunted when he walked past me at graduation. But I still clung that he was gonna be a great chef. And at the end of his first year of culinary school, he shows up at my door. Once again, I'm like, this is not gonna end well. And he just stands at my door and he says, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. And he said, well, I just wanted to come and thank you for throwing me out of your class. He said, because most of my culinary professors teach just like you. You have to have the hunger to learn, and as long as you don't stop the learning process in my classroom, you can stay. And he said, I think if you hadn't taught me that, I wouldn't have made it through my first year. So sometimes at that moment, we're not very popular, but they do come back. You are in the place that you are supposed to be if you want to be a teacher, and I really believe that. Longwood was founded in 1839, became a university in 2002. And it's hard to believe sometimes that we sat on 60+ acres. For the 17th straight year, U.S. News and World Report selected Longwood as one of America's best colleges among regional universities in the South, ranking 6th in the top public school category. At Longwood, on the average, there are 14 students per teacher in your classroom. I'm proud to be affiliated with a university that promotes and encourages critical thinking. Today, September 9th, it is the 9th, thank you. And then in this room, there's another milestone in your life about becoming a teacher. You're joining the ranks of individuals. Be teachers who are not afraid to ask questions. Be teachers who teaches all of your students. Be the teacher that students want to be with you because you teach and you learn. And when they don't know it, that's what's really the glory. They realize they learned something later. And I can promise you 2 things. They will remember you, and they will love you like a stone. And you have 2 assignments. You have a piece of paper and you have a pen. I want you to write 1 sentence. I want to become a teacher because. Pay attention, parents, because this is what you paid for. Let's make sure you get your money's worth. I want to become a teacher because. Raise your hand when you're all done. I want to become a teacher because. I'm sorry if your hand doesn't lie. Borrow your neighbor's. brave or afraid? Okay. I want to become a teacher because.
I want to make an impact on
Say it to this group over here because Mama paid for it.
I want to make an impact on my students like my teachers made an impact on me.
Awesome. It's okay, yeah, one, it's okay. I want to become a teacher because.
I want my students to feel
Louder.
I want my students to feel that they always have a safe space to go to.
Lopez, I want to become a teacher because.
Because I think every child deserves a safe space and a safe adult.
A safe what?
A safe space and a safe adult.
Awesome. I love saying that name, by the way, you know that. Ms. Clune, why do you want to become a teacher?
I want to become a teacher because I want to assist those who have yet to find their own voice.
Awesome. Why do you want to become a teacher?
I want to become a teacher because I want to be a teacher I needed growing up.
Awesome. Why do you want to become a teacher?
Because I want to be the teacher I never had.
They are some of the best answers, if not the best, I have heard. Okay. You also have a rock. And they asked me, why do we have a rock? I said, well, you can throw it at the speaker if you don't like them. But I was talking about Ms. Litchfield, not me. You have a rock. Or should I say, you have a stone. You have a stone. And I want you to hold it close. And when times get tough, I want you to remember who you are, where you came from. Because you are Lancers. And Lancers are mighty warriors. They were skilled horsemen. When they left their homes to go into battle, they often went with no armor. They wanted nothing to restrain them from fighting the enemy. And they sometimes thought about the fact they may not return home. So I wish I could tell you that every day will be great, and you may want to throw that rock at your principal. But don't do that. And if you do it, why don't you say that, let me see, that Ms. Lynchwood said that, not me. Okay. Or I see Dr. Sequoia over here, say she said it. Yeah. If you don't know her, you need to get to know her because she teaches music and she's really talented. Okay, so you're gonna hold on to that stone. Keep it in your desk. And one day you're gonna have a parent that won't get off your back. One day your principal's never gonna understand what you're doing. And then you're gonna have somebody spell a word that you thought they'd never learn how to spell. That's when you grab that rock and you hold to it and you say to yourself, I love them all like a stone. That's the greatest love that you can have for your students. And when my students leave my class every day, I try to say this to them. Go and make the world a better place. That's a really big responsibility. But you know what? I think you can do it. I think you have to do it. Will you do it? Well, say, yes, I'll do it.
Yes, I'll do it.
Oh my gosh. Can you say it like you mean it?
Yes, I'll do it.
Can you say it like you're going to be paid?
Yes, I'll do it.
I think you should stand up and say it. Are you going to do it?
Yes, I'll do it.
You're going to be awesome. I stand in awe of you, and I'm so grateful that I had this opportunity. And parents, thank you so much for trusting your students, your children with us. I watched when the freshmen pull up, and it is a sad day. You remember that day you rode away, and they went in their dorms, and half the time they're fine and we're terrible. But they have done amazing to this place, and they are going to make the world a better place because you raised them right. So let's give this bunch a round of applause. I'll be signing autographs in the back. If you need it, just remember, I only sign the big N for narcissists. Thank you so much. You've been great.
You all have been seated alphabetically by cohort. So we have our spring cohort and our summer cohort. When I call your names to the stage, please make your way up here. Mr. Byron Morgan is going to join me on stage. He will pin you as you cross the stage. And then Ms. Brandy Ripley will be on the other side of the stage. Once you exit, she'll get you to sign saying that you've received your pin. I'll be reading all the names that are listed on the program, so I would like to celebrate everyone who may be watching this later and may not have been able to attend in person today. I ask that you all celebrate the students even if they're not your own. And we're good to go, so I will start with the first name. And you all can just come up or line up as you are. Riley Abel, Elementary Education. In some situations, if you have on a spaghetti strap or a complicated dress situation, Mr. Morgan will just hand you your pen and shake your hand. Anastasia Applet. Macarena Laborde. Carly Barker, Elementary Education. Jordan Bohr, Early Childhood Education. Ann Bottoms, English Secondary Education. Allison Birch, Elementary Education. Alyssa Cason, Elementary Education. Also, our photographers will be taking photos, so please feel free to stop and smile. Odette Chavez, Elementary Education. April Cherry, Elementary Education with an assistant math. Isabel Clune, Elementary Education. Hannah Collins, School Librarianship. Sarah Connor, Theater Education. Joseph Cumby, History Secondary Education. Bria Draper, Elementary Education. Emily Drum, Art Education. Dara Ensmith, Elementary Education. Annie Eric Petty, Elementary Education. Elise Fleming, Special Education. Brendan Francisco, Health and Physical Education. Madison Freeman, Elementary Education. Jake Gaston, Elementary Education. Michael Gilbert, Elementary Education. Cassandra Getz, History Secondary Education. Stella Grant, Elementary Education. Anna Hahn, Elementary Education. Brianna Harrison, Elementary Education. Allie Harton, Elementary Education. Kendall Hayes, Elementary Education. Amaya Hood, Early childhood education. Nathan Hoskins, music education instrumental. Lauren Hawk, elementary education. Allie Irving, elementary education. Teresa Johnson, school librarianship. Emily Kearns, liberal studies special education. Addison Harmon, elementary education. Amanda Lawson, school librarianship. Danielle Lacari, school librarianship. Marla Lopez Sanchez, elementary education. Casey Marshall, elementary education. Sophia Martin, elementary education. Paxton McDonald, liberal studies. That warmed my heart sometimes. That makes me feel better. Terrell Medley, health and physical education. Grace Merrill, elementary education. Taya Merritt, elementary education. Kendall Mitchum, elementary education. Haley Morgan, liberal studies special education. Ashley Nelson, elementary education. Emma Nestor, early childhood education. Kayla Nolte, English secondary education. Laura Payne, elementary education. Reagan Howe, elementary education. Gabriella Howe, school librarianship. Olivia Price, English secondary education. Abigail Reamer, elementary education. Alexis Joseph, elementary education. Anthony Rucci, mathematics secondary education. Sky Sack, Aubrey C, liberal studies special education.
Way to go!
Felicity Shander, elementary education. Sarah Sharp, health and physical education. Macy Shelton, elementary education. Sophia Swajid, Olivia Phillips, elementary education. Amanda Tate, elementary education. Ty Wheeler, health and physical education. Congratulations again to all of our Spring 25 and Summer 25 teacher preparation and cohort members. We are immensely proud of you. Let's give one more round of applause for these incredible students. Thank you again to all the friends, families, faculty, and staff who have joined us today. We wish you safe travels home. Please feel free, if you want to take pictures with your family or friends, feel free to come to the stage or what have you, but we wish you well and thank you so much for joining us today.